Hello there. You are watching and tuning in and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That young man out there is
Eric Zandona in Vancouver, Washington.
Eric, you and I have just been stunned, and we're stunning the world right now. We're very fortunate to be one of the first to review, actually probably the first to review, Encantadora, the Enchantress. As you can see, she is a mermaid, ladies and gentlemen, and it's cool because we had to nominate it for packaging, brand of promise, and packaging. It's really pretty. This is a blue glass, and there aren't too many places, and I'm assuming that they're getting their glass in Mexico. I could be wrong.
Yeah, probably.
There aren't too many glass places that will do colored glass. The one that I know of actually burned down last year. It was a total loss for somebody. But anyway, regardless, we are going to try. This is Encantadora Joven. This is the second Joven that I've been able to acquire for our Sipping Off the Cuff for 2020. I'm going to use my handy dandy jarrito for Mezcal. Actually, it's the one for the higher ABV, even though it's not. It's an 80 proof.
Yeah.
Let's taste it and smell it. Then we'll get into all the particulars and stats and stories behind it. For a Joven, this is really light. I'm surprised because most Jovens will have what a Joven is. In this case, I should probably just read this off the label just so that you will know what a Joven is. A Joven is an unusual expression for tequila. It's not often done anymore, but there are some that are. The Joven is a perfect combination of the Blanco and the exquisite Ultra Añejo that they will get to later on. But I'm not sure if they're stripping out the color. They don't normally do that. In other words, a Cristalino. It's not listed as a Cristalino. But for a Joven, it's not very dark.
No, it's not.
It's
and
almost,
my guess is they might be filtering it.
Okay. But even so, you still see a modicum of color. I mean, it's not as bright maybe as the Blanco. Our lighting here.
There's a light hue to it.
Okay.
Fairly light.
Okay. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Same nose and character as the Blanco.
Yeah.
We flipped over this Blanco. It was just really full, like Eric said, it was bright and full of character and green on the nose a little bit. And
so this is the nose is very similar to the Blanco.
I got a whiff of the barrel a little bit.
Yeah. I get some lime zest. And there's a hint, I think, in here of some woodiness, but it's very, very faint.
Very faint.
Very light. All right. You ready to try it?
Let's go in there, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
The barrel's all there on the palate.
Yep.
Wow. Really, lots of vanilla, lots of like caramel, really like confection and sweet, like chocolate candies or something like that, chocolate caramels. Really powerful. Like the fruit kind of goes away on the palate a little bit. I think there's still brightness, but it's different. That's fascinating.
I noticed that at mid palate, just even a little before the mid palate, that there was that woodiness, the sweetness from the wood.
Yeah.
And when we get to the Ultra Añejo, they're calling it Ultra, but that's fine. It's an extra Añejo.
Yeah.
This will all make sense. I have to be honest. I've had some of the extra Añejo last night before taping, but of course I didn't I didn't tell that to Eric because we're sipping off the cuff. Um, but I think when you get to the Ultra Añejo, you'll understand where those notes are coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I know why it's so light, because, like I said, we'll refer back. We'll come back to the Joven, the character of the Joven. But let's get into the stats and stories. Okay, we had to nominate it for brand of promising and packaging. It is all back to like orange crate art, or even the commissioned calendar girls for Cuervo and Sousa. It's really very nostalgic. Okay.
This blue color glass is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's well done. Like I say, I'm going to assume that they're making it in Mexico.
I would agree.
Now, here's the thing that we didn't talk about. We talked about the cork, and we think it's some sort of a composite. It may be agave. I'm not sure. It's not telling us. We didn't get any POS or information. We have what we get on the website, and then what we're tasting. These are coordinates. I didn't notice it. Lisa noticed these when we were popping them open. She goes, these are coordinates, and I thought, oh, okay, these are probably coordinates for where the agave is. But then Eric, he punched in the coordinates in Google, and what did you find, Eric?
So what I found is that the coordinates on the bottle here, I can't tell which way is up for the viewer.
Right
there we go. They correspond to an island. There's two names, something and Hibiscus Island. Palm and Hibiscus Island in Miami, in Miami Beach.
Well, she's based in Miami. The owner, one of the brand owners, her name is Alexa Eve. She even signs the bottles here. Wow. And her team have done just a stunning job with everything. And then she's pushing the limits with the recipe. Not only is she coming out with a Joven, which we said was a rarity these days. This is only the second Joven we've actually had in 2020. And I don't foresee seeing any other ones. It's 80 proof, but it also has. Is this one also with salts? I don't think this one has salts, does it?
It says it on the label with added salts.
Okay. Now, when we talked about salts, what that is according to the website, it is potassium and a couple of other. What they are is electrolytes. Okay, folks. It's not like she threw in iodized table salt, or it's not salty. We decided that the salts are not adding anything to the flavor profile. It's just the whole team, the whole concept is healthy drinking, and I'm all for it. As I said to Eric, this reminds me of when vodka was making its push, and they were infusing vodka with everything, and people were doing Red Bull, vodka Red Bulls, and then they infused it with caffeine, and some of those brands are probably no longer in existence, but they infused it with just about everything.
Yeah.
What do you think? This is really the character on this, and once it opens up, you get more of those wood characters.
Yeah. As it opens, you get more of the character from the extra añejo portion of it. Initially, when you pour it, it's just the blanco.
Yeah.
But now it's fully transitioned, and you get a lot of that like caramel sweetness on the nose and vanilla. So I think it's really interesting. It's been a long time since I've had a Joven made in this way. And I think the last one I had was probably a blend of Blanco and Reposado. So it was sort of softer in terms of the barrel influence. So the choice to go with a Blanco and an extra añejo gets you this really interesting mixture of characters. So I think the interesting thing for this product too is priced at $74.99. Given the packaging, the pricing, the added electrolytes, I mean, this says it's being marketed to the South Beach area, right? This is high-end destination travel club locations. That's the crowd that they're going for. This is, I think I think it's a really nice flavor. It's just kind of caught me off guard a little bit because I haven't had anything quite like this before. In that it's so, it's not flavored in any way. It's just the influence of the agave and the barrel. But to have it so like in that kind of candy sweet realm is really fascinating, and not over oak, not too woody at the same time. So I think it's a fascinating product, and I could see lots of people really liking it who like sweeter drinks. Sort of in the, there's a whole bunch of like dessert like cocktails and things like that. You could do something with this in that vein, but still without like the sugar and the sort of calories that people are concerned about. So I could see like in that whole South Beach kind of vibe, that maybe that's a little bit what they're going for. It's like dessert in a glass, but without the sugar.
And that,
So
and that's the whole idea. As we go through the rest of these
yeah,
expressions, you'll understand where the team, where she, Alexa, the owner, and the rest of the team stand as far as what they're putting into the tequila and into their mezcal. There's actually a couple of mezcals as well.
yeah.
What do you think, man? Is it brand of promise worthy?
For Hoven, yeah, yeah, I think so.
And I'll be honest with you. The Joven that I have, we've had it. Alex and I actually tasted it. It's a blend, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Blanco and a Reposado Joven.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's more in line. I'm with you. It's more in line with that. However, this one is once it opens up, it is going to be a little bit on the sweeter side.
Yeah,
Uh, and as I understand it, as we go through these, you'll understand that they're, as far as we know and as far as she knows and what their information they're telling us, there are no additives to this.
yeah,
But we'll come back to this Joven when we do the Ultra Añejo. You will understand where those notes are coming from. Okay, and I'm really interested to hear what your take is on that. So anyway, Brand of Promise nominee in that Joven category. That's
yeah.
take on Encantadora. Joven with infused with electrolytes and added salts. You have been listening and watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels. If you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you are notified every time Eric is on. If you're listening to us on Spotify, please sign up there too, or iTunes or whatever. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Eric Zandona in Vancouver, Washington.
and you have been sipping and watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. And don't forget, whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.